It is Monday and I am off to school. It is still dark out, so it's pretty early. It's 6:40 and today is wear your favorite team or college day for Red Ribbon Week. So you know I'm repping High Point University. Yeah. Okay. See you guys there. So this is what I left all over my desk. I just went ahead and wrote the kids' homework, wrote their lunch choice because whoever job that is didn't get a chance to do it Friday, and wrote them a new morning message. So since that's all set up, now I can handle this. So I was planning on vlogging today after school. I just finished getting all my things together for tomorrow. Now there's a tornado watch, so I'm gonna have to go. But what I'm doing right now is I have my materials where I take my notes and things, and I usually keep them back here in one of these black bins, but I'm gonna keep them up there at that bookshelf because I never use my materials back here and I'm always running back and forth. So I'm just moving them over there now. I'm also starting a behavior plan with 2 students tomorrow, so I have to cut this in half. But they struggle with blurting out all the time, and this is what causes the rest of the class to go so berserk. So I'm hoping that this will help. I'm gonna give them a check every 20 minutes if they don't do this. And for following directions the first time as well, because they both, it's so strange, they both have the same personality. Like, they don't want to listen to me. And then they both struggle with saying positive things about themselves. So this will be like an extra column, like if they mistakenly blurt out and don't get one of their checks, if they were using kind words towards themselves and others, and they have a check over here, this check will replace a missed check, so they could still get a reward at the end of the day as long as they have all their checks. I just have math broken up into 20 minutes, reading broken up into 20-minute increments, science, social studies, and writing is at the end of the day, and it's only about 55 minutes long, so 2 increments there. So I'll let you guys know how this goes. This is everything I'm bringing home because my kids have turned in their folders from Centers. So I'm gonna be crazy busy tonight. So I'm gonna head out. I don't think I got to vlog this morning, but I had conferences today after school. So that's what I've been doing this whole time. And now I'm just gonna head home, get some grading done at home, and make a couple things for tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday, so it is my planning day. I started a behavior plan like I showed you yesterday with one of my students today, and it went really well. I'm looking forward to that. I was not frustrated with that class for once. It made such a difference. It was great. I'm just ready to be home today, so I'm gonna head out. We started, someone actually commented on my most recent video and asked if I could explain like lessons I'm going to do and then share how it goes. Lately, my math lessons haven't been as self-discovery as I would like them to be. I start every day with a word problem, which has to do with what we are talking about. And then from there, we move into breaking it down and showing the steps, which is not really how I want to teach, but I'm learning it's how I have to teach in order to get everything in and to cover everything I need to. But I really like how we've started multiplication, and it has made a lot of sense to the kids. And I'll show you at some point this week how I went about doing that, because I think it was really helpful connecting it to what we did. We started with multiples of 10, 100, and 1000 and connected it to 10 times a number and on the place value chart. And so the kids saw why that extra 0 was being added, because it was 10 times more each time. So I really liked that. And then today I was modeling 2-digit by 1-digit and showing the area model. So I started with an area question, so they all knew to draw the square and try to solve for area with 1 by 1. And then we moved into a 2-digit by 1-digit. And unfortunately, I had some kids, my AIG kids, have learned standard algorithm with the AIG teacher. So I've been trying to prevent them from sharing that with the class, because with Common Core, they need to know the other methods, because they need to know what that means when they're doing standard algorithm. And our standards say they're not supposed to learn that until 5th grade. So I started with the area question and I gave them graph paper to solve it, so they knew to make a square or a rectangle. And so we talked about how you can count the boxes on the inside, they all know that. And then I went ahead and I made it with place value blocks. And then we took the time to put dots on top of each block. And then I moved the blocks away. But before I moved the blocks away, I labeled it. We have a 10 here, and we have 6 ones here, and we have 8 rows of all of that. So I labeled it, and then I slid them out of the way, and I'm like, oh, what does this look like that you've seen before? And they're like, an array. So we talked about arrays for a moment, and like the commutative property and how you can switch the sides of where your numbers are. And then we talked about how they would know what is inside that specific box, and that's how I moved into area model. And I think that worked really well, because it showed them why that way works. And I'm like, well, there's a much easier way. You don't have to count all these dots. You can just put the number it equals in the middle, because that's what counting the dots does anyway. So I'm like, you're basically finding the area of the 2 squares that we've broken into, our 10s and our 1s, and then we're combining them. So that's good. We're moving on to 3-digit by 1-digit tomorrow. I was going to introduce distributive property, but since it's a Wednesday, I'll probably hold off on that until Thursday. Yeah, because my lesson has to be super quick so they can get right to work on Wednesdays. It's our shorter time together. Since I'm done with like introducing and breaking it down, and now we're just kind of expanding on those thoughts, I think it's going to be much better. My lessons are going to be much faster, actually. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to planning tomorrow and having a little break. And I am much happier today than I was yesterday. It's crazy how you can have such different days just by the behavior of children. The last conference I had was great. I love this student's mom. She's awesome. So that's just always good to know that like you have great parents that stand behind what you're doing in the classroom. That's it for today. I need to, before I leave quickly, I'm going to put my addition and subtraction vocabulary on our word wall. And I have to find all my other vocabulary cards because they're cut out, but they're not organized. So my math board's falling apart. My magnetic curtain rod, people were asking me how it holds up the entire notepad of anchor chart paper. It doesn't. It fell like 3 times today. But when I put just one piece of anchor chart paper, it like flaps in the wind. So if you guys have any solutions to that, because I like to hang my anchor charts like that, let me know. It looks so sad over there. It all fell down. Oh, and then I got the magnetic hooks that Pocket Fold Primary has, and someone ripped those down and it ripped my red bulletin board. But those are really strong and great, so I'm gonna move that vocab now. Good morning. It is picture retake day, so that's why I took the time to curl my hair today and put on lipstick. I mean, whatever, for the first time in a long time. Hopefully, third time's a charm on pictures. I am setting up a behavior plan for enrichment day for my student just to get a check in each class. So I gotta do that real fast. Good afternoon. I got my picture retaken today and I'm so much happier with it. I'm also 10 pounds lighter than the last time I took a picture, and you can really tell in my face, so I'm really happy about that. I had another conference after school, so right now I'm just taking the time to write down all the missing assignments and who is missing what, because I have to make new copies and have the kids start making up work. I fell a little behind because I ran out of copies of things and never made them, so I just let it sit, but grades are due by Monday, I believe, but I want them all done Friday because we have a work day Monday, but we have PD all day, so that's that. We shared our test score averages today, and I am really, really excited because my new way of teaching, or the way I've taught these past few weeks, has made a huge difference in my kids' scores, and I blew it out of the water. So I'm really, really happy about that. Improvement there, so I am no longer discouraged about my teaching. And yeah, so I'm just trying to get this organized. I need to make a checklist of who has turned in their final project, because I have to start asking those kids who didn't turn it in to turn it in tomorrow. So here's my stack that I'm bringing home today. I have a lot of stuff ready to go for next week in my drawers. Planning has been going really good. I have all stuff that needs to be completed in the morning on my desk, and I am ready to head out. Good morning. My backpack's moving. I'm in my classroom. It's my work day, so, you know, hair up, glasses on, comfy sweatshirt, leggings. Oh. It's finally cold in North Carolina, so that's interesting. I got like all of my grading done this weekend. I just have to add a couple things right now. Some kids didn't turn things in, so I have to search for them. I want that to be done before anyone gets here, which people should be coming here shortly. Sort my bin of stuff that has been graded. Something I didn't do first quarter that I want to do this quarter is make a copy of any work that is below a certain grade. I haven't decided yet, and a shocking high grade as well, just to have those for data. I got to sort through that. I have to analyze some things to see who my small groups are going to be this week. So yeah, let's get started. All right, so my yellow bin is up behind me. I have gone through it. Everything I've done this weekend is either ready to be filed into their work folders, or low grades are ready to be copied, so I have proof. Now I'm going to go through their test corrections that they just did on their addition, subtraction, and rounding test. I've already graded it, but I have to see who still doesn't understand, so I know who to pull for groups. And then I also need to go through their quizzes and do the same thing, but their quizzes were on multiplication. It's been a while since I've been able to sit down in my classroom. Actually, we just had a 2-hour PD on Mastery Connect, which is a really cool program that I was a part of the trial last year. If you use their bubble sheets, you can scan it onto the computer and it grades everything right away and pulls up if the kids mastered the skill, if they're near mastery, or if they need remediation. So my kids' names are obviously over to the side, but then it pulls all of your information for you. That's where I've been I'm done with my grades. They've been submitted, and I analyzed my quizzes and my tests to pull for small group. Now I want to make a new seating chart, move my kids' names around. I'm not going out for lunch for a while because we just had breakfast, so none of us are hungry, but we have another PD in an hour about MTSS, so, which is tiered interventions. I'm getting stuff done and organized, and I feel good. So I just quickly put this together on PowerPoint with a block and copying it, and this is what my room looks like. So I used to type the names on here, but it takes a while, so I'm just going to print 2 of these out and fill the names in with a pencil. I got back a little while ago now from my training, my second training after lunch. It's something I've had training on before, so it was just like clarification that we're doing everything right. And I hung up my Number Talks poster, so that's no longer taking up space on my board, which is nice. I wrote my homework and my announcements. Wish I had a lot more time than I actually did today, but it's fine. Let me show you. So I moved my desks and put a line of tape in front of all of them. Hopefully this will keep them lined up better. And I moved kids around. You'd think I'd have nothing to do tonight at home. The only thing I'm going to do is plan small groups for the week. We have our first math benchmark this week, which, I mean, unfortunately, we knew from the beginning that we weren't going to get everything in. There's just not enough time. So there's division on there apparently. Obviously, we haven't taught that yet. We're starting 2 by 2 digit multiplication tomorrow. My kids took a quiz on Friday up to 4 digit by 1 digit with area model, and they did really well with it. So the only thing I'm worried about is their facts. So I think I'm gonna find a song tonight to teach them, because they take their multiplication quizzes, they get them right, but then it's like they let them go out of their head. I think I'm also going to start bringing flashcards with me when we're in the hallway and when we're waiting, and have them call them out, just so I'm keeping the repetition going. I think I might try when they line up at the door too. The only way they can keep their spot in line is if they get it right. So I may start implementing that tomorrow. Everything is stacked here, ready to go for tomorrow. Homework, practice page, their accountability chart for centers, and then some 2 digit by 2 digit word problems. I have to head out before they lock me in the school, so hopefully I'll see you guys later this week.